Sorry fellas, but according to a lot of women, weak men are everywhere. You can spot them in the friend zone and even in relationships where she's the boss and he's basically her emotional houseplant, which is fine if you identify as a houseplant, but not if you want to feel like a man. Now, if you don't believe me because I'm a woman, well, just read some of the comments from men who have been there. Feminine women don't fall in love with weakness. They might use it or pity it, but they don't respect it. And what do we know about respect? Right, respect precedes true attraction. If you want to be the prize, you must stop doing things that turn attraction into apathy or worse, sympathy, because women don't have passionate relationships with men they feel sorry for. Welcome to Just the Tip. Disclaimer, not every woman fits the same mold, and not every man does. Now, this isn't about judging, it's about recognizing patterns that keep you stuck in confusion and frustration or even quiet resentment, because the biology of desire doesn't care about fairness. So some of these things that weak men do that smart men would never do might sting a bit, and that's because there is room for growth. And you may need to stop and ask yourself why you choose to do these things. All right, let's jump in. 13 things weak men do. Number 1, apologize for being masculine. Weak men shrink. They soften their tone, filter their words, and apologize for taking up space. They've been told that masculinity is toxic, and so they dull their edge, thinking it will make them more lovable. But it doesn't. It makes them forgettable. Smart men understand that being masculine doesn't mean being aggressive or controlling, but grounded, decisive, and calm under pressure. When a man owns his masculinity, women feel safe with him. And when he hides it, women feel uneasy, even if they can't explain why. Key point, a man who women crave doesn't apologize for who he is. Okay, so the next one, you might not like me for, but I do see it in the comments every day. Number 2, blame women for their own weakness. Weak men love to rant about modern women. They blame women for every heartbreak, every rejection, and every failure. She ghosted me. She used me. Women today are the problem. May be true, but I'm sorry, my friend. A man's lack of boundaries is also the problem. Smart men study patterns. They don't hate women. They understand that women's psychology is different than a man's in some ways, and they accept that women respond to strength, leadership, and a man's self-respect. Key point, good women don't go for or stay with men who resent women. When you stop blaming women, you take your power back. You stop reacting and start allowing women to act with accountability. Just the tip, accountability is masculine and powerful. Blame is emotional, feminine, and childish. Key point, being accountable doesn't excuse a woman's lack of accountability. Number 3, weak men let women set all the terms. Weak men think letting her lead makes them progressive. Nope, it makes them replaceable. If she decides when you see her, how much effort you give, whether the relationship is defined or not, she's not dating you, she's managing you. Smart men don't play a woman's games. They set the tone from the get-go. Example, if she says, I'm not sure what I want, well, the weak man sticks around hoping it'll be him. The smart man says, well, then I'm not your guy, and he walks. Key point, a man who won't lead gives a woman nothing to follow. Number 4, weak men chase women who don't want them. Weak men chase validation. They double text, they overpraise, they try to earn attention from women who've already decided they're not interested. The women aren't interested. And the worst part is women know when a man is chasing out of insecurity. It's not flattering, it's desperate. Smart men never pursue a woman who's not choosing them. They recognize interest through effort, not words. When a woman truly likes you, you won't need to decode signals. She will make it easy for you. Just the tip, stop chasing the runners. Start attracting who stays. So, how are you doing so far? Now remember, I'm not the creator and I am not doing you any favors by sugarcoating this information. Number 5, Weak men stay when disrespected. Weak men tolerate disrespect because they are afraid to lose her. They think walking away means losing the one. But when you tolerate disrespect, you teach her how to treat you. Smart men would rather sleep alone than be with a woman who mocks, belittles, or tests them endlessly. They don't argue for respect. They remove their presence. And that silence speaks louder than any lecture. Key point: you can't earn respect by begging for it. You earn it by enforcing it. Number 6. Weak men ignore red flags because she's hot. Weak men get hypnotized by beauty. She's stunning, she's confident, mysterious, but emotionally unstable. A weak man doesn't care because his logic shuts off and he gets turned on the second she smiles. Smart men look past the packaging. They know beauty fades, but behavior repeats. If she thrives on drama or plays games or constantly needs saving, he's not signing up for the sequel. Emotionally healthy women crave a man who values peace over chaos. Now, my red flags video will help you identify the throwbacks no matter how hot she is. Just a tip: if her looks make you forget your standards, she's not the prize. Number 7. Weak men confuse niceness with strength. Weak men treat nice as a strategy. They compliment her every move, agree with everything she says, and never challenge her opinions. They confuse being agreeable with being attractive. But women don't fall for fake nice. They fall for safe, strong, solid. Niceness without backbone translates as fear. Fear of losing her, conflict, being disliked. Fear isn't sexy. Smart men are kind, even generous, but they're not doormats. They can say no without guilt and disagree without drama. Key point: emotional strength and self-respect is a prerequisite for attraction. Number 8. Weak men let lust make their decisions. Weak men let lust drive their lives. They meet a woman who checks every physical box, and within 2 dates, you're imagining a future, ignoring obvious incompatibility, and rearranging your priorities to impress her. You confuse arousal with compatibility, and that rush of dopamine tricks you into believing you found something deep when it's just chemical fireworks. You've seen it before. A guy who drops his gym routine or stops seeing his friends or spends money he doesn't have and forgets what he stands for, all because she's beautiful and laughs at his corny jokes. Smart men know attraction is only one part of compatibility, and they ask themselves, how does she handle conflict? Does she keep her word? Can she bring calm or just chaos? A man who has mastered his own impulses is dangerous in the best way, not because he suppresses desire, but because he directs it. Example: 2 men meet a woman at the bar. She's stunning, confident, and enjoys attention. The weak man buys her drinks, over flirts, and tells her she's perfect. The smart man talks and listens, is interested but not consumed. Which one do you think she thinks about later? The one she couldn't control. Key point: when lust leads, logic leaves. Have you ever let lust lead you to the wrong lady's garden path? Fess up. Number 9, weak men fear rejection more than regret. Weak men spend their lives avoiding rejection. They scroll, they stare when she's not looking, and they overthink instead of taking action. They convince themselves waiting for the perfect moment is smart when it's actually just fear. Rejection feels personal, but it's not. Rejection is simply data telling you what fits and what doesn't. Smart men treat rejection as a sorting system. In dating, fear of rejection kills more attraction than rejection itself. You've seen the guy at, let's say, an event who clearly likes a woman but never approaches her. He waits too long, hoping she'll notice him first and then give him an obvious sign of interest. Meanwhile, a smart man simply walks over, smiles, and starts talking to her as if he's known her forever. Weak men internalize every failed approach as proof they're not good enough. Smart men see rejection as filtering for the right woman. Example: think about sports tryouts. The player who never steps onto the field never gets chosen. Dating works the same way. Confidence grows through contact, not contemplation. Key point: Regret stays, rejection passes if you let it. One hurts for a moment, the other can linger for a lifetime. Now, if you are shy or not confident, you will like my Wake Up to Love program if you do the homework. So you might want to check it out. I will put the description and link in the show notes. Yes, lifetime access, 60-day money-back guarantee, yada, yada. Okay, number 10. Weak men overshare to get sympathy. Weak men mistake emotional unloading for intimacy. They reveal every insecurity, childhood trauma, and personal failure way too soon, thinking she will love him for being honest. Instead, she feels pressure to become his mom. Just the tip, mother mode kills lover mode. There's a difference between vulnerability and neediness. Vulnerability is sharing your truth with composure. Neediness uses emotion to seek comfort. Emotion, yes. Key point. Smart men open up intentionally and share lessons, not ongoing wounds. They understand attraction thrives on the balance of emotional depth and stability. For example, imagine a first date where she asks, "So, what was your last relationship like?" And a weak man would unload and say, "Well, my ex cheated on me and then she blocked me and then, she came back and left again. I just don't trust women anymore." Now, before the dessert arrives, she has already quietly decided never to see this man again. Whereas a smart man says, "You know what? It ended because we both wanted different things. I learned what I truly value." Or, "My doctor told me to quit smoking and lose weight, so I did." Women want to feel your emotional presence, not your emotional weight. Just the tip, give her pieces of your story, not the whole movie on the first date, and throw in some stories of overcoming trials. Number 11, weak men seek validation online. Weak men crave attention more than achievement. They post gym selfies or vague deep quotes or emotional confessions or rants, hoping strangers will patch up their self-esteem or agree with them. They need hearts and comments to feel visible. It feels good for a minute, but that dopamine fades and they are back to scrolling for proof they matter. Smart men don't chase validation, they create results. They use social media as a tool, not a mirror. They're too busy building real world value to worry about who's double tapped their latest post. Example, let's say a weak man gets ghosted and immediately uploads a sad quote about fake people. A smart man gets ghosted, shrugs, hits the gym, and later posts a picture of him fixing his motorbike or hiking on a mountain path because he's actually living his life. One seeks comfort, the other projects competence. Key point, approval fades, achievement lasts, so stop performing. Number 12, weak men let emotions run the show. Weak men think emotional expression means no limits. When angry, they yell or rant online. When jealous, they accuse. When insecure, they chase harder. Every mood becomes a move, which comes across as a boy, not a man. That kind of volatility makes women feel unsafe. She may like your passion, but constant reactivity feels like dealing with a toddler. Mother mode. Key point, if a man can't train a woman to act maturely, she's not a keeper. Smart men feel everything, but act with control. They pause before reacting. They respond after reflection, and that calm self-command tells her, "I can handle you and whatever life throws at us." Example, she says, "I need space." A weak man panics, calls 5 times, drives to her house, demands an explanation. A smart man takes a breath, says, "Take the time you need," and focuses on his own day. Guess who she misses? Women test emotional steadiness, not because they want drama, but because women need proof of leadership under pressure. Just the tip, feel deeply, react slowly. Now, before I reveal the next thing weak men do that smart men never would, if you have found value in this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing and maybe share it with a friend. And thank you if you have. Okay, number 13. Weak men compete with women instead of leading. Weak men see women as rivals. When she challenges him, he argues to win instead of listening to understand. He turns playful testing into ego battles. Attraction isn't a contest. Smart men guide women's energy. When she's emotional, he grounds it. When she teases, he smiles. When she tests, he stays centered. Leadership isn't control, but direction. It's your quiet steadiness that makes her feel safe enough enough to relax and open up to you. For example, she says, "Why do you always have to be right?" A weak man argues point by point to prove logic. A smart man knows women are not logical. He grins and says, "I don't always have to be right. I just happen to be right today." Playful, confident, calmness makes her laugh and then releases the tension. Masculine energy diffuses feminine storms with humor and composure, not reactivity. Key point: lead her energy, don't mirror her erratic emotion. Every man has a moment of weakness. The difference between a weak man and a smart man is awareness and action. Weak men react, smart men reflect. Weak men fear losing her, smart men fear losing themselves. Women may admire looks, but they fall for strength. Strength is knowing who you are and what you stand for, even when temptation or emotion tries to sway you. So say no when you mean no. Speak truth calmly, and if your voice shakes, it's okay. And always, always leave when respect disappears. Each standard you enforce and continue to enforce in a relationship earns lasting attraction. Power and peace is found in being respected, starting with self-respect. So if this video hit home, you will want to watch 9 things smart men should not do with women, which is coming up next. Because avoiding these critical 9 things makes the difference between women being drawn to you or repelled by you. Now, go live like the man she can feel safe with, to follow, and more importantly, most importantly, the man you're proud of. Hope this inspired you. Lots of love. Big hug. God bless.